Busan, South Korea, the country's second largest city, known for its beautiful coastlines, colourful hillside villages, and the iconic Gwangalli Bridge. Whether daytime or night, this city is full of natural beauty, the cutest cafes, and just views you'll remember forever. So I'm in South Korea right now with one of my besties from Australia, and maybe you guys already know him. His name's Jack Cooper. But we're taking a break from the beautiful and busy streets of Seoul to spend a weekend away down here in this magical city. And instead of my usual flight to travel somewhere, today I'm catching a bullet train to get there. This is actually my first time on a bullet train, and I don't know exactly what I was expecting, maybe a little more oomph, but it is extremely smooth. No jolting or sudden stops, just really flowy. We did also book the earliest one we could, leaving at 5:30 in the morning, which is why we're also a tad tired. But we really want to maximize our time in Busan, so of course we've booked the last bullet train back tomorrow, getting us into Seoul just after midnight. Now, if you are wondering, the return tickets cost us 120,000 won each for economy, which is roughly 140 Aussie dollars. Maybe it's on the expensive side, but to get to Busan in under 3 hours without all the extra time that comes with flying, I'll take it. Plus, the regular train takes just under 5 hours, so I think this is really worth it. Also, can we just take a moment for their safety demo? And the fact they're playing a video on how to use a defib? Like, how have I never seen this anywhere else? I swear, South Korea, you are the future.
It's so rare. Take our time like we're on a slow burn. Throw our feelings out in the open. Yeah, I'm feeling like we could be a thing, right? You were so hard to find, and I can't believe that.
Now, I am trying to get a little bit of work done, and the train actually does have Wi-Fi, but that doesn't help us when we get to Busan, and we kind of need to order an Uber to get to our accommodation. So if you're wondering how I stay connected, navigating my way around, and just how I use my phone for literally anything I need while traveling, it's all thanks to Saily. Saily is a super simple eSIM app that gives you mobile data in over 200 places all around the world, including right here in South Korea. There's no physical SIM card, no weird tech stuff, just open their app, choose a plan, follow their easy steps, and you're connected. The best part about Saily is you only need to install one eSIM ever. After that, you use the same one for whatever country you're traveling to and whatever data package you need. I set mine up while I was still in Bali, so I knew I had nothing to stress about and I would have data from the moment I landed. Plus, something so cool about Saily is they also block ads, which saves you data without you even realizing. I ended up using way less than I normally would, which is such a good feeling, especially when I'm uploading Instagram stories on the go and using Google Maps for literally everything. So if you're planning a trip soon, definitely go check them out. Just download the Saily app or go to saily.com/AmandaK and use my code AmandaK at checkout for 15% off. Also, a huge shout out to Saily for being the sponsor of my video today and helping people like me stay connected while traveling, which is so important these days. But now let's get back and see why Busan is so worth visiting. And we are off. Hello, Busan. Now, Jack and I have booked the most incredible spot right on Gwangalli Beach, which is actually where that famous bridge is that I mentioned earlier. Honestly, this area is stunning. It has this gorgeous beach that stretches nearly 1.5 kilometers with some really cool cafes that you're going to lose it over. And also something really special that happens at night. We actually chose our accommodation purely around the bridge, and wait till you see the view we have out our windows. Oh my gosh, I'm actually so excited to show you guys and to also check in. But first, because we are way too early for that, we are going to use those trusty luggage lockers, which I had my first taste of in Seoul, and I will say they make me a little nervy. I know it's fine here in South Korea, but just leaving all of my personal things in a somewhat public space feels kinda wrong. But for only 4,000 won an hour, which is under $5 for us right now, they're pretty damn handy, especially since we only have one night here, so we need to get exploring even if we can't check in.
I won't stop till I see the colors in my eyes doing this for me. Yeah, I'm walking fast on the edge of a pretty skyline. Forget the past, 'cause the present will take me there.
Okay, maybe you can see why we wanted to stay in this location. Just look at this cafe. I cannot. I'm genuinely speechless. It almost gives me percent Arabica vibes with the all white, but it doesn't even need anything else because it has this view. I think I could sit here all day. And I've ordered this blueberry drink, which is so good. I mean, it's sweet, but it's so good. It also only cost me 7,000 won, and to have such a vibey drink with such a vibey view, I think it's worth way more. Also, can you tell we've had an early morning? Jack is having a coffee. Yep, not a matcha. Coffee. Also, I've pinned the cafe's location in my Google map below for you, and I'll also be pinning everywhere we go for our whole time in Busan. That way, it can be super easy for you to follow along and even save all the locations for your own travel inspo.
Same but different, like an imprint forming on me. I'm learning how to trust. Won't stop till I see the colors in my eyes doing this for me. 'Cause I was born to fly.
Now, if you watched my Seoul vlog, you'll know Jack and I have become slightly obsessed with these photo booth stores. They're literally everywhere in South Korea. We've already spotted 3 just today. And honestly, this is the first place I've even been where photo booths are such a big thing. Plus, let's not get into the whole no staff thing, which still blows my mind every time. I imagine Japan's similar, and I am so keen to go one day. It's at the very top of my travel bucket list, but I swear, so is everywhere. Anyway, there's no way we're missing Busan's photo booth experience because you can never have too many physical photos these days.
Until I'm looking up from cloud 9. I'm looking out from cloud 9.
Of course, leave it up to the 2 Aussies to stumble across a cafe called Little Oz. Honestly, I think it's just natural for us to be drawn to the food we know and love, right? And let's be honest, no Aussie can ever say no to avo toast. But you know what I'm really here for? It's finally matcha time.
I like it, I like it. I'm counting colors in your eyes. I'm losing track of all my time. It's like I'm high. Tried not to slip into your blue, but I've been slipping into you. The floor is ice. Ooh, I should know, I should know, I should know better, but that's no fun. So ooh, let me down, light as a feather.
Alright, guess what Jack and I are doing? We are being the most stereotypical tourists ever and doing the classic hop-on, hop-off bus. Honestly, we both love these self-tour buses, and Jack's done so many of them, especially every time he's come to Dubai, because to be fair, they're actually actually really convenient as a way to get around cities. And there's a stop right on Gwangalli Beach, so how could we not? Plus, I figured this was actually the perfect time for us to do it. We're both a little tired and it's kinda chilly outside, so it's really nice just sitting here, relaxing, chatting about life, while still getting to take in Busan's amazing views. Also, something you might find interesting is Busan actually has its own version of the hop-on hop-off bus. It's called the Booty City Tour. It's still really easy to get tickets for. You can just buy on board and they accept both cash and card.
Best out of my mind. Ooh, I should know better, but that's no fun. So ooh, let me down, light as a feather. When you're done, I'm a little too into you. Got my head over my shoes, but I like it. I'm a little too.
Now, having just spent some serious time in the street markets in Seoul, you might be thinking, surely we've had enough of street markets. Well, we're getting off here in an area called Nampo purely because I have a few saved on my Google Maps. Honestly, you're probably gonna laugh at how I find places when I travel. I literally just zoom around on Google Maps and click on all the little pop-ups that Google recommends to you and check the photos. That's how I found this Biff Street and Biff Square. I will say the markets here are very similar to Seoul's, with lots of the same things like the candied fruit and of course Dalgona cookies, which if you didn't know are from Squid Games. And let me tell you this, Squid Games is everywhere in South Korea. So before you come here, do yourself a favor and actually watch the series. Don't be like me wandering around confused because half the references don't make any sense. Be like Jack, who's basically fangirling over every Squid Game thing he sees. But something we both haven't seen before are these water drop desserts. To be fair, they actually look so cool. You can pick all kinds of different flavors and toppings, but I'm not quite sure it's for me. So luckily, Jack's going to take one for the team and try it for the both of us.
It's like jelly.
It's just like jelly?
Yeah.
Been through a lot, you'd think by now I would've lost my spirit. For so long I couldn't find the music, but now I hear it. I've been tossed to run and pulled apart.
Now, there is another reason why we wanted to get off here, and that's because it's right near this, the Songdo Skypark. Now, we are doing the Crystal Cruise option, which has a glass bottom, and unless you're scared of heights, I feel like it's a no-brainer. It's only 22,000 won each for the return, compared to the regular one, which is 17,000 each. But honestly, the best part of all of this is the fact there's no crazy wait time. Unlike Namsan Tower in Seoul, where every time we went there was a 60-minute wait. I am just so happy we can actually get on this one.
And it's like the sky is open up, letting me fly free. So listen.
And look at this. The fact we get the whole view around us and the view beneath us is unreal. Also, how cool is this walking track out on the water? It's called the Cloud Trails and I'm definitely pinning this. Honestly, I would love to say how could you not love every minute of this? But with this glass floor, I can totally understand if you're scared of heights that you might not be into this. And guys, it's pretty windy, so we are swaying. I used to get like this with turbulence sometimes, and whenever I start to think about this stuff a little too much and begin to freak myself out, I just remind myself that there are people on this like every hour of every day doing the exact same thing I am right now. So statistically, it's so low having anything happen, and I just need to enjoy it. the suspension bridge is closed. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little sad, but it is closed for a reason. So, you know, I'd rather not have it break while I'm out there. Luckily, there's still plenty to do up here, and it's out of the wind, which honestly makes me so happy because I am not made for the cold. Now, they do have this carnival-style air shooting game, so I'm keen to see who's the better shot out of Jack and I. Fun fact about me, I actually grew up on a farm, so my brothers and I used to line up tin cans and shoot them with rifles. And my brothers are probably disappointed in this because I did not do very well. Jack did slightly better, but we both still didn't win anything. And you know, I don't have room in my bag for a cute little memoir anyway, so I'm totally not sad about it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about going back, only because the bridge is currently closed. So if it's windy enough to close that, should I be worried about us? But honestly, it was about the same amount of rocking as the way up, so it was fine. Sorry if I am making any of you not want to go on a cable car. I promise you they are fun. But if it's not your thing, there are actually walking tracks up from the beach or the car park below. That way you can still make it to the top without the ride. So, do you know where we are right now? Well, this cafe is owned by the father of BTS member Jimin. The cafe has blown up online from BTS fans coming here and leaving so many gifts, like flowers, merch, love letters, literally anything in hope Jimin or even his dad might see it. It actually used to be called Magnate, but it has been rebranded as ZM Millennial. Maybe it's a play on the whole Gen Z and millennials. Secretly though, I think this is one of the main reasons Jack wanted to come to Busan, because he is a huge BTS fan. And to be fair, it is a pretty cute cafe. Jack ended up getting the matcha cheesecake and a cold brew matcha, which I don't know why, but we both thought was this wild new drink, and then we realized it's just an iced black coffee with a bit of matcha on top.
Get under my skin, but I guess I kinda grew out of dancing around it. Closed my door so you can't get in. Doing better than I've ever been. I'm putting on my makeup, taking another shot of all the good stuff.
And here we are. This is our accommodation for our night in Busan. And with this view, it cost us just under 250 Aussie dollars for the night, which is a tad more expensive than what we spent per night in Seoul, but I can understand why. And it's way bigger than it looks. I'm also a sucker for big kitchens, even if I don't use them, because it makes me feel so at home. Hold on a second, guys. I am shocked at how much they've provided for us. And maybe I'm a little nosy, but I love to go through things in Airbnbs, mostly just to make sure nothing weird's been left behind or if there's mold hiding somewhere. But just look at all these chargers and adapters, even an electric lint remover, and it gets even better in the bathroom. Honestly, I have never stayed anywhere that's included this much. But quick question first, does anyone else feel a little strange about using shared face wash or toothpaste? I mean, it is so nice they have all this stuff. Like, this is the definition of going above and beyond. But at the same time, something about it just feels a little off. Also, I love the whole indoor shoe culture here. I'm a big shoes off at the door kind of person, and I feel like this indoor slipper idea is something I would love to have at home, but I swear I'd end up wearing them outside, which kind of ruins the whole indoor shoe idea. I would say that this place is a 10 out of 10, except because of two things. Firstly, the towels. I had to WhatsApp the contact just to make sure I wasn't going crazy because I couldn't find any full-size towels. Look, I'll make do with a hand towel for one night, but Jack is so tall. He'll need like 7 of them. The other thing is the bed because, oh my gosh, it's like a rock. I know harder beds are supposed to be good for your back, but I am a little worried this might do the opposite.
Forgetting you like nobody is watching. Good at moving on, yeah. So you can keep trying to knock me down, but I laugh it off. You're losing sleep.
So, we only booked this Busan trip literally a few days ago, so I haven't done much research, especially when it comes to the food. And normally, I'm the most organized person ever with this stuff. I love hunting down the best restaurants when I travel because I get serious FOMO thinking I'll never come back and I'll miss out on the best meal of my life. Even ask Zach. I am obsessed with checking restaurant reviews and searching their menus for what I would order, planning out everything we're going to eat before we even get there. But here, it's a little more go with the flow, which is not really working in my favor when it comes to finding anything vegetarian or vegan. And since we've got something very special happening at 8 p.m. that we need to be on the beach for, we kinda need to sit down and eat now.
Laugh it off.
So, we're not just waiting for these fireworks from the boats or to watch the bridge light up, even though it is stunning. We are waiting for a drone show, and honestly, this has to be the funniest thing we've ever seen because no one tells you where the show's going to happen, and it turns out it's only on one side of the beach. So, the second it starts and people realize they can't really see anything, everyone starts running, including Jack and I. And you kinda don't want to miss it because they only do these shows on Saturdays, with one at 8 p.m. and one at 10 p.m. This is also my first time ever seeing a drone show. Even though Dubai actually has them all the time, I swear I've never been in the right place at the right time to catch one. The wildest part though is how many drones just drop straight into the water mid-show. Like, how much does that cost them? And does someone have to go get them afterwards? Plus, it's also raining tonight, so I wonder if that affects them. The rain did make Jack and I feel like a late night snack though, and honestly, we both thought we'd be asleep for the last drone show, which is why we were a tad stressed about missing the first one. But we ended up waiting for the second one just to see if it was any different. Spoiler alert, it's the exact same, but from a different perspective, it was actually really cool, and even funnier watching everyone sprint again just like we did earlier. Honestly though, this is something that's going to live in my mind forever. The lights, the ocean, the boats, the music, the chaos, the people, the whole scene is just magical. I'll be sad to say goodbye in the morning, but we do really need to get to sleep because tomorrow we have something super exciting planned for the whole day. So that way we can make the most of our final day in Busan, South Korea.
Something on the weekend, cherry on top of a good time. I just wanna dance, wanna dance, wanna dance. Sipping sunsets on the ceiling is electric.
Now, now, something I'm struggling with in South Korea is not many cafes open early, like before 9 or 10 a.m. And I'm such a morning person. I love being up early, knowing I've got the whole day ahead of me, even on ultra long ones like today. So this morning, I'm actually the one getting a coffee, hoping it'll help keep me alive until midnight tonight. Something else I've noticed here is it's pretty normal to clear your own things at cafes. But honestly, with no service tax, I'm more than happy to put my own stuff away. Speaking of cleaning up though, Busan is definitely different to Seoul in that aspect. Seoul is spotless, even with hardly any bins around to even put your rubbish in, which is a whole other thing because people tend to hold on to their rubbish until they get home. But maybe just not as much here.
It's alright, in my house, making it sweet through me. I'm in love. It's alright.
So I'm sure you already guessed this, but today we are doing a full day tour. With having only 2 days here, it really made the most sense to do this so that we could hit all the main tourist spots. But before we get into it, let me introduce you to our tour guide Wing Wing, because she is seriously the cutest and kindest person ever.
Wee Wee, today's everyone's English guide today. So Wee Wee, like a bird flying. Just follow this tiny road wall, please. Okay. And in case that you cannot find Wee Wee.
And how much funnier is having this compared to those tour group flags you always see everywhere? Today's first stop, though, is probably the most famous spot in Busan. And before booking this Klook tour, I actually tried to get tickets to do this by ourselves, but they were sold out for weeks ahead. And when Jack first showed me Busan, this was actually the thing that really sold me on it. So there was no way we were missing out. This place is called the Haeundae Blueline Park, and the reason why it's so famous is because of these colourful and incredibly cute capsules that take you along the gorgeous coastline here. You can book either one way or return, but for our tour, we're just going the one way because there's actually something at the other end that we're going to check out. Jack and I also need to pair up with 2 other people as the tickets the tour booked are for 4 people per capsule. I swear these capsules are like cable cars cross mini trains and they're so freaking cute. I feel like this is the definition of South Korea. Just having fun with cute and colourful things everywhere.
Turn it up, 'cause I can't get enough. I just wanna dance, wanna dance, wanna dance. Spend something on the weekend, cherry on top of a good time. I just wanna dance, wanna dance, wanna dance. Spend sunsets on the ceiling, it's electric all night. Something on the weekend, cherry on top of a good time. I just wanna dance, wanna dance, wanna dance. Spend sunsets on the ceiling, it's electric all night. Goodbye to the heartbreak and the tears that I cried. I'm on cloud 9. When I beat, it's more like 105. Moving through my body. Who had those worries? Not me. No, me and all my cares cut ties. Think I'm gonna be alright.
So this Skywalk is the reason we did the one way. It looks very similar to the one we saw yesterday from the cable car, so I feel like it's scratching that Skywalk itch. But the only thing is, it is freezing. Like today is cold, but I think being out on the water where we're fully exposed to the winds is making it worse and a little hard to enjoy the view. If I knew it would be this cold, I probably would have prepared better and not brought a skirt, but Seoul's weather has actually been really nice, so I didn't expect Busan to be colder. Maybe I should at least put my hair up, because if this wind sticks around all day, my hair will become a literal tumbleweed and take me hours to brush out.
Everybody, hey, it's time to wake up. Are we ready? Things are gonna shake up. Can you feel it? Feel it on the inside. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Oh yeah.
Find a way to light a little fire. Turn it up and never let it down. You know nothing's gonna stop us.
Now, our next stop is actually at another skywalk called Oryukdo. And the reason it's become quite the spot for tourists is because depending on the tide and your viewpoint, the number of islands you see actually changes. And Oryukdo literally translates to 5 or 6 islands. I feel like Zach would love this spot, but only if he could get the drone up, which with today's winds, I feel like it would have ended up in the ocean. So when we saw the skywalk here was also closed, it was not really a surprise. But people also come here for this cafe with views of the city on one side and the islands on the other. It's actually so beautiful and also out of the wind. So I'm more than happy to sit inside and soak up the views from here. It's so cool.
Hear it getting louder. Lift your voices now. We're feeling prouder. I'm moving on and never looking back. You know nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. I'm gonna jump and shout and join the party. I'm never gonna doubt, cause this is our day. Bring it on and take it to the top. You know nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. We've never.
So before the Korean War, actually the population of Busan was 400,000, but after the war, because of the war, so the population turned into 1.3 million.
Now, the reason Wing Wing is telling us this is because our next stop is at the first of 2 culture villages here in Busan. This one is called Haeundae Culture Village, and these villages were actually never meant to be tourist spots at all. During the Korean War, they were actually homes to refugees that came to Busan, and because the city was overflowing with people, the only land they had left was on the cliffs and hillsides. So the government and religious groups helped people build these tiny homes packed in super close together to maximize space. And it wasn't until 2009, when things were getting a little neglected, that initiatives were started to transform them into these culture villages. Artists and locals painted murals, they opened galleries, cafes, souvenir shops here, all to help preserve these unique houses while giving the neighborhood a new cultural and economic revamp. This one is known as the Santorini of Korea, with the all white and blue painted everywhere, whereas the next one is more famous for all the different colors. Now, even though this place is a total tourist hotspot, as you walk through the narrow and windy streets, you can still feel the history here. It's such a wild contrast, this mix of real life stories and now colorful tourism. I can get why it's become so popular. But at the same time, it's crazy to think about the people who actually lived here, and even the ones that still do. It's one of those places that really shows you a different side of Busan, a side that's creative, resilient, and full of stories. Now, the walk to the end takes roughly 20 minutes one way, and our tour is giving us 45 minutes here in total. So we are a little rushed, as I really want to do the whole walk, but you could easily give yourself 2 hours here, especially with all the cafes and shops, and if you want to grab a coffee or even get a foot massage and just have time to enjoy this stunning view. Not to mention, we didn't even explore any of the little staircases that go up and inside the village, but I'm so glad we had time to come here, because for a lot of people, they only know about the most famous one, and you'll probably understand why at our next stop.
There's something there in the wild. It's a reflection of me. People fight for survival. I'm chasing tails, I'm surrounded. Can't stop for a second to breathe. My thoughts are flowing like water.
This is Gamcheon Culture Village, also known as the Machu Picchu of Busan, with all these tightly built houses painted in bright pastel colors, reflecting that same deep history changed into a highlight for this city. You have all kinds of fun and colorful things to see and do here, starting with a little challenge to collect these stamps hidden all around the village. I'm not sure if this is meant just for kids, but I'm 100% down, because if we collect all our 4, Wing Wing has a prize for us. I'm pretty sure the information center also gives out prizes depending on how many stamps you collect. Since we're on a tour, I think the ones we got are like a mini version of the full stamp map. But if you're here on your own, you can grab the full version from the info center for about 2,000 won. Now, technically, you can walk anywhere you want, and there are so many staircases and alleyways leading to all kinds of cafes, art murals, and little shops. But the map does have a main walking route there and back, and it's also the least hilly. So because we are on a bit of a time schedule, our tour needs us to stick to this one. You still hit all the major stops though, including the famous Little Prince and the Fox statue, which, to be honest, I didn't really get at first, but turns out it's a French children's book that's all about imagination, friendship, and seeing with your heart, not just your eyes. So I can see why it's so popular here. It's not just a famous character, but it actually means something, fitting in with the whole creative and thoughtful vibe of this place. There are also other sculptures and murals everywhere you turn here. Some bright, some abstract, and of course, K-pop gets a mention. Like number 62 on the map, a dedicated BTS mural, which was a must-see for Jack, along with actually trying some salt bread, which is very famous in South Korea.
This is actually the best one I've ever had. I'm not just right now. I'm actually serious.
Because we have the most amount of time here for our day tour, and that bread has made me a little hungry, we are going to explore some of the cute cafes where maybe we can get a matcha or a unique drink, relax a little, and soak up the incredible view we have here. Plus, something really cool is buying souvenirs or getting a coffee or anything to eat is actually going back to the locals to support this amazing neighborhood.
I am free, I'm feeling alive. Take me back to the jungle. Take me back to the jungle.
Something you might find interesting, and I definitely felt this from the cafes, but because the houses are built in that step-like pattern, stacked perfectly on the hillside, no home actually blocks another's view. It's almost like a giant amphitheater. Honestly, this place is so cool. I've seen photos of hillside villages before, from Zach's trips in Indonesia or those dreamy spots in Italy on Instagram, but getting to stand here myself, it just feels so special. And I hope through the screen you can feel a little bit of that too, because bringing you along on trips like this is one of my favorite things. South Korea has been such a beautiful experience. It's unlike anywhere else I've been so far, and I really hope the maps, links, and references I've shared help you if you're planning your own adventure too. If you haven't already, you can watch the rest of my time in South Korea in my full Seoul vlog here. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe because it really means the absolute world to me. And also, thank you so much for always being so patient with my videos. I really am excited to show you where I'm traveling to next.
Take me back